Welcome to another The Real Money Coach. So excited that you're here. Listen, type in the chat box where you're watching from because you know how we do. It's January 14th, 2021. Is it only me or do you feel like this year is already flown by? I'm just like, what in the world? 14 days are gone already? Come on, somebody. Y'all type in the chat box where you're watching from. I have a feeling the East Coast is going to rock the house tonight. But I don't know. Our special guest is from the West Coast, right? And so we'll have to see a little East Coast, West Coast, a little battle. And so listen, I'm very grateful to be here with you because we have a very special program tonight, one-on-one with Coach Adams. Coach, what is that all about? And I got to bring up my partner, my brother from another, Dr. Reverend Tony Jackson. Would you come up here? We got to talk about this whole coaching thing, Tony. Come on now.
My man, hey, Marlon, what's going on, my
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, you said the month is flying by already. Listen, it's January 14th. Listen, this is the year of momentum. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about tonight. I'm excited about tonight's guest, Coach Adams, man. Thank you, man. When you first introduced me to Coach Adams, I'm like, man, I went to her website, man. I was like, Coach Adams ain't no joke, man. and then of course, we were out on her show not too long ago, and so, man, it's just awesome to be around people who are so positive, people who just have a great outlook on life, and we're going to talk about vision tonight. We're going to talk about all sorts of different things, and listen. Alice Martin, the first to check in with us already. Alice Martin from North Carolina. Hey, we know that there's others out there. Please type in the chat box where you are listening from, where you're coming from, and so that we can celebrate you being with us. Marlon, not only is this year so far, 2021 gone by fast, but man, just think, April 2nd, man, where has the time gone? Do you realize, man, we're 3 months away from a 1-year anniversary of the Real Money Coach, right? Real Money Coach on Thursday night. Started out as a town hall meeting, and now here we are. We got the private Facebook group. If you're not part of that group, please make sure that you join please make sure that you join the private Facebook group. We'll be giving you that information as we go through here. We have Dr. Benita Harris is in the house. Our good friend Ruth E. Bell is in the house. Listen, she said, good evening to you guys. Tony Jackson, Marley Smith, also everyone. Ruth Bell is in the house.
Right. That's so good.
Listen, I believe Pam Lee Fires, if I'm remembering correctly, yes, she's from California. So someone that's been with us before, my man Chad Lawson in Ohio, but he always represents. Chad, look at this, man. That's for you tonight because kicking butt. So it's exciting.
Yeah. So listen, the reason why I wanted to get you on early, Tony. So we're talking about Coach Adams coming on, and and you just put on the Michigan, Wolverine hat, right? But I also know, you played football. I played football. Right? I mean, you were a running back. I was a tight end, outside linebacker. And I want you to talk to us about the importance of coaching, right? I mean, when I look back, man, I mean, we used to have 2-a-days. Did y'all have 2-a-days?
Man, we had 2-a-days.
Yeah. And for those of you that didn't have a 2-a-day, you don't know what I'm talking about. A 2-a-day is basically you might come to the morning practice, right? And, get in 3 hours. Have a little break, and then you got to come back in the afternoon. That was called a 2-a-day, right? And so, Tony, talk to me about, I mean, were you ever like upset with your coach? Can we be honest right now?
Man, sometimes, the job of a coach is kind of to push you to the limits of where you won't go on your own.
Right.
You mean to talk about 2-a-days, man. I remember going to football practice in the morning, and I had a job at McDonald's. I go to McDonald's between practices and then have football practice in the evening.
Wow.
And so I remember those days. But, man, you're right. Coaching is so important. Every great athlete, man, has a coach. I mean, you think about Tiger Woods, you think about Michael Jordan. I'm thinking about people that were, really at the top of their game. They all had great coaches. I mean, think about the dynasties. I'm not a Celtics fan, but, I know we have some folks that usually join us from Boston. But think about the dynasties of out there with the Celtics and UCLA on the West Coast. And what was a common thread? They had great coaching.
Yeah. And what I love about coaches, is that they can see your blind spots. They can see things that you may not see, right? We're really creatures of habit. And so a coach, a very effective coach, can help you, tweak some things. As you know, Tony, my team, we won the state championship, right? I'm just saying, that's how we roll. Kennedy Cavaliers. I got proof, Tony. I got proof. I got the press clippings. I got the videos. Okay. Because as people get older, the story always blows up. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, back in high school, I was, this and that.
Yeah, that's how we grow up. I tell my kids, man, I used to walk 2 miles to school in the
right through the snow.
The snow in the middle of July. But coaching is so important. And if I could even turn the conversation a little biblical on us, man, listen. When I think about coaching, when I think about that, I think about that Timothy, and Timothy had Paul, and that was his coach. Really, that's what we would call that relationship today, a coach. And so here's the thing: every Timothy needs a Paul, but I think as important as we need a coach, a lot of times coaches need us. They need someone that they can feed to. They need someone to share those experiences with. And so, just like, so every student needs a teacher, and every teacher needs a student. Yeah. And I think it's just a great relationship.
And, even to that, Tony, I think, as you said, that just triggered, as my daughter Jade, just had a birthday this past Tuesday, right? 48 hours ago, right? And it's just amazing how time flies. And the reason I bring that up is because when you talked about, a coach needs a student, it's like I also, because I feel like, I'm coaching my kids, right? I know you've got 4 kids. And so sometimes, that old cliche, when you give, you receive so much more in return. Right. And so when, I think the coaches, and I think I can't wait until we bring up Coach Adams, because I think it's such a phenomenal experience when you see the light bulb go off. Right. When you see that person, have that victory or do something that they maybe thought they couldn't do. And, one of the things we, the Real Money Coach, we made an investment in a coach, right? We had Donna Maria. And, because again, I want all of our viewers to understand making the investment in you only makes you better. Makes you better. And that's what Tony was talking about. All the great athletes, actors, movie stars, right? We can go even to, politics. They have coaches before they go on that debate. So that, I want us to think about, because 2021, again, I'm all about the decade. I'm not just about this one year. So how are you going to make this the best decade
of your life? Absolutely. Best decade of your life.
The best decade of your life, right? And so how, right, you've heard this, Tony, we talked about this, you keep on doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. They call that insanity, right?
Right.
So yeah, how important is coaching to you, Tony?
Well, I think coaching is so important, and having mentors in your life are really, really important, and we need them in so many different aspects of our life. We need spiritually, business-wise, and just as life goes. And, I've been blessed to have some really great coaches in my life. I'm talking even outside of the athletic arena, and I know we play a lot upon that because we are the Real Money Coach, right? Obviously coaching is important to us. It's in our name, right?
Right.
Real Money Coach, And so I think it's so important. And I know for me that I wouldn't be where I am had it not been for some of the men and women in my life that were coaching me.
That's a good point.
Sometimes it wasn't a formal relationship, like you're going to be my coach. Some of it was just informal.
Right.
It was informal. I remember I went to Western Michigan University, go Broncos, right? And I went on an academic scholarship, and I was assigned a mentor or a coach,
Sure,
that was in my area that I wanted to major in. Still a really good friend even today. And just having that coach. And a lot of times when you are assigned a mentor or you're assigned, a lot of times, it doesn't work out. But, for us, it just worked out.
organically.
And, this dude would buy anything from me, man. I mean, I remember I sold him some Cutco knives, man. I was selling Cutco knives. He bought a $2,500 set of knives from me, man.
Wow.
And so, but just having mentors in your life, and then for me, being a minister and having pastored, having those type of people spiritually in your life, and one of the things that you said, Marlon, and I don't want us to miss this. You said that teachers give and all that type of stuff, and you get so much back when you give.
Right.
And it's a law. It's a law, man. It's like give and it shall be given back to you.
Right.
Now shaking, get together, running over. Now, sometimes when we think about that, we start thinking about that and we immediately think about money and tithing, but it's not just that.
Right.
It's if you give love, you get love. If you give respect, you get respect. If you give honor, you receive honor. And so we can't outgive God. And so every time we give, we receive.
Right.
And that's the wonderful thing for me. And I think that's what coaching is all about. Okay. Coaching is not about an authoritative relationship, but a give and a mutual giving relationship.
Exactly. Well, man, let's go ahead and bring up the Coach Adams, because I think we've talked about it. We see the benefit. And so now to bring up someone who is really being a blessing to so many, it's amazing. So you have some words you want to share, Tony?
Let me tell everyone as we bring her up, let me tell everyone about who we really have with us tonight. All right. So Coach Adams, listen, she's known as Coach Adams. She's a native of Los Angeles, California. And I love some of the things, her bio, you guys, you got to go check out her website, coachadams.com. But check it out. Some of the things that she says in there, she talks about enabling people to take their lives to the next level. She is a coach, trainer, participant, a minister, trainer. She is a certified John Maxwell trainer. She's a radio personality. She is a phenomenal coach. And this is what I put in an email that went out tonight, that she believes each of us has an assignment on this planet, which is revealed to us when we're flowing in our authentic self, which houses our true passion. All right. Within these passions are one's true life's purpose discovered. And utilizing her coaching experience, Coach Adams enables her clients to flow smoothly through the process on uncovering their authentic self. Now, there's a lot in her bio, but that just really stood out to me. And so we are really honored and we're really excited to have with us tonight Coach Adams. Come on stage, Coach Adams. There we go.
Wow. Who is that? Who is she? I want to meet her.
Right.
Thank you both for having me here.
You're very welcome. How are you doing tonight?
I am absolutely fabulous.
All right now. All right. And you heard Tony and I talking about the whole coaching, and I know this is a big industry now. Talk about your story. How did you become a coach? What's your journey, through life to where you are now?
I so appreciate that question, Marlon. And I appreciate that question because it really sets the tone of why I got on my journey. And it sets the tone because I have an extensive background in real estate and property management. And that was not my assignment. And so I was in this industry. I was feeling like a square peg trying to squeeze and fit into this round hole. I was dealing with frustration. I was dealing with friction and just all of these things that come with when you are not in alignment with why you were created. So I was feeling frustrated. So I went on this intense journey where I began to seek God for what is it that I was placed on the planet to do. You see, I had this one transaction when I was in real estate, and this one particular transaction, it made me want to pull what little hair I have in my head out. I was 100% commission, and this is so important to kind of set the stage. I was 100% commission. And so, of course, if you don't close the deal, guess what? You don't get paid. And so I was working with this individual probably for about 6 months, helping them clean up their credit, helping them with a realtor, find the property, loan application, processing, underwriting, all of that.
Wow.
And this was a time back when the law was just changing because there had been so much fraud. And the law was changing that you could no longer just submit your taxes at face value. At the time, you had to give authorization for them to randomly be pulled from the IRS because of the high fraud rate. And so we get to closing. I'm excited. 6 months working with this person. I've already, the money is gone. Okay. I'm ready for this check. And the loan was pulled just before closing. The loan was pulled for fraud. And I was questioned because, of course, being a licensed realtor at the time for the state of California, my involvement and all of that. And I just thought, I have to step back. I need to figure out what is it that I've been placed on the planet to do. And that literally started my journey in this intense discovery of fighting to figure it out.
Wow.
And in my fighting to figure it out, I was in property management in transition now. I told my broker, I said, I have to step back. You can continue to hold my license, but I really need to take a time out. And so while I was in transition, I got into property management, easy, transition for me. And I met an individual and she introduced me to Coach University. She said, oh my gosh, this is so you. She didn't know that I was on a journey of discovery. But when you're seeking God, he will begin to bring people in the atmosphere to connect with you exactly to speak what you need.
Yes.
And she said, this is all you. And I thought, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know about that. They were doing free conference calls at the time. She said, just do the call. Just do the call. I said, okay, I'm open. I'm searching. I got on this call with Sandy Vilas and his team for Coach University. And I'm sitting on this call and I'm like, oh my God, this is me. This is it.
Right.
And I'm having this, aha moment. It's like the sky is opening up and I realized, yes, she was right. That is what I was created to do. And that awakening happened for me. That unlocking of the code of my purpose, it came in 1998. And I've been on my journey at different levels ever since.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Bravo. Bravo. And one of the things that really resonates with me is that when you're not in purpose, right? When you're not, I just want to distill some of the wisdom you just shared. When you're not in purpose, right? When you're not in purpose. And so in the chat box, I'd love for people to type in the chat box right now. Can you relate to what Coach Adam shared? Has there ever been a time in your life when you also knew there was something more? Maybe it was a job, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was, whatever. Was there ever a time when you knew, this is not right? This is not who I am. This is not where I'm called to be. just type in the chat box, yes or no. I'd love to see. But let's go, Coach Adams, let me ask you this. That friend who saw that light in you as far as being a coach, do you still stay in touch with her?
I do, just through social media. We stayed in touch for a long time, but we do tap each other here and there. So yes, she definitely is still at some level a part of my life.
Wow, that's good. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because sometimes a coach or even a friend or a family member, they can see, right? Come on, Tony, they can see
in us that we can't see in ourselves. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that happens all the time. Is that and then sometimes you think about a lot of it, you think about with your kids, you see things in your kids that you don't see in yourself. So sometimes your spouse sees something in you that you don't see. Usually it's good, right? So they see something that you don't see.
Right.
And a lot of times, because we get caught up in the daily routines of life and we're just going, and I'm thinking about that you're looking for something, and what you're looking for, you already possess. Everything that you need, everything that you want, you already possess, but we're looking for something outside, and it's really already in us. And sometimes it takes someone, a coach, to pull that out of us, what's already there.
Exactly. So, and Coach Adams, so we got, let me see, we got Mick Carter said, yes, can definitely relate. Even Chris said, I can totally relate. I knew there was something more. So I quit my job. And created what I wanted. Whoa, create. So I'm breaking this down because I want you to really talk to these individuals. Ruth said, yes. Dr. Bonita Harris said, I'm in that state
now.
Ooh, yes.
Right? I'm on a journey to find my purpose. Brad said, yes. CD Nelson said, right now. Okay, this is so appropriate. I know there's something more, and I am passionately alert to God's lead. Wow. Evelyn, go ahead, Tony. Continue on. Evelyn?
Yeah, man, I see that. So Evelyn said, what you just shared was so awesome and true. Seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. Just make sure you go through the door, right? And so then there's other things. A good coach is a game changer.
Game changer.
Michelle Martin says, yes. Chad said this, man. Chad said, listen, he said, right now, working 5 to 3:30, there's more in me than that, right? And there's so many people said, yes. Carnage Jefferson said, yes. Stephen Wimberly said, yes.
Wow.
Man.
Hey, Stephen.
Man.
Yeah.
So here, that must be one of your people, Stephen. And so here's the thing, man. That's resonating with people. It's resonating with people because there's, and I think sometimes, and I don't know, 2020, a lot of people said, 2020 was a rough year and all this, and I understand it. For a lot of people, it was. A lot of people died. A lot of people ended up sick economically. But then there's some people, I think, that they needed the time out, right? They need, hold up. Life is going too fast of pace. I need to slow down. I need to sit in my house in my bunny slippers and reflect on what's really happening here. What do you think about that? You think people are experiencing that, Coach Adam? What's your thoughts?
I definitely feel that people are experiencing that. And, you asked the question, Marlon, I want to give a quick shout out to Beth Larner. That is the individual. But this whole process of where we have come from has really caused people to zone in and realize a couple of things. One, life is too short. And life is too short for me to not be living life that is purposeful. Many people pre-COVID were just existing, and they realized it was this stirring of, I don't want to just exist with all of the loss that we were hearing about. And so in my coaching practices, it's caused people to say, no, I'm going to figure out what my purpose is. I'm going to pursue that because tomorrow, more than ever, the reality that tomorrow is not promised.
Wow.
And, for me, and I know I have all of those comments. I love it. Thank you all for engaging with us. Continue to chat. That purpose I think of everything has a purpose. I often use the illustration of a bottle, for example. I don't have any stock in pH water, but the water in the bottle serves a purpose. Mm-hmm. The bottle itself serves a purpose, and the cap serves a purpose. And so your purpose, whatever that may be, it may connect with someone else. But the bottom line is that you have been called to a purpose. You've been created for a specific assignment. And the biggest challenge, and this is where I was pre-98 in making the connection, the biggest challenge is the willingness to step back and to really go on a journey of discovery and pursue what is it, not what you thought that it would be. Because the only child in me who's a loner, who's very reserved and an introvert, she had absolutely no interest in doing what she does today because it's a constant stretch out of my comfort zone. Yet it is the very assignment that I was called to. It was the very reason why I was created. And so when we can connect with our strength zone, those areas in which we have natural gifts and talents. I think about one of my favorites, Michael Jordan. Got the name Air Jordan. Well, I can't soar through the air like that, but he can because he had that natural bend in the direction of where he ended up flowing in his purpose. Each of us, whoever you are listening in, you have a natural bend in a specific area. And the key is unearthing that code of your purpose.
My. Come on, somebody.
Coach Adams, you have got to unpack that right there because that was too deep. Say that again. Say that again for us.
That you have to unearth, that you have to unlock the code to your purpose. Is that what you're referring to specifically, Tony? Yeah,
specifically that. Talk to us about unpack that code, unearthing that code, because I think that's tremendous. Because for me, it's like when you're operating in your purpose and you're doing what God's called you to do, it energizes you. It you have so much passion for it. It doesn't wear you out. And so I really want you to unpack that a little bit because I think that was pretty
absolutely cool. And as I was sharing with the bottle, because each of us have been created for a specific assignment, in you, already in your DNA, in the code of your DNA is purpose. It's already embedded in how you've been created. The challenge is unearthing that. The challenge is unlocking that code. Well, our passions unlock that code. When we start to follow our passions and fuel our passion leads us in the direction of our purpose. But we have to be on the journey. We have to be discovering and have the willingness to really take the journey and kind of walk it out. For example, I had to be open to things that I had never thought about doing before. I had to be willing to stretch out of my comfort zone. Being before people, speaking before groups, that's a stretch out of my comfort zone. I've embraced God's purpose and I've been told I'm anointed to do it because it's who I am and who I've been created to be. And so if you're sitting there, wherever you are, and you're thinking, I'm trying to find my purpose, I often tell individuals, start identifying what is it that I do naturally that people compliment me on. I remember people would always compliment me and say, yeah, you're a great speaker. You have a great voice. And this was back when the 900 numbers came out. And people would say, you'd make a lot of money with those 900 numbers. I said, I don't think God gave me the voice for that purpose. I don't think the 900 numbers, for those that know what 900 numbers are and what they were at the time, I said, I don't think that is what the voice was given to me for. But that was a part of this discovery of being open to something that I had just been living with. I didn't see it as being unique and different, but yet it would connect with others in a way in which, because I live with it every day, I didn't know. And so just literally going on that journey of discovery is so key.
Wow. I mean, that's
Adams, I want to ask you this. It seems to me is that it's a journey and not a destination.
Yes.
Because it's evolving. You know, what your purpose was. I mean, what my purpose was as a 20-year-old versus my age now. Notice I didn't reveal it, but as my age now, but it evolves, you know, just like our life evolves, our relationships evolve, and where we were 20 years from now and how we are now. Hopefully we're not in the same place because we've grown and those types of things. I want to kind of, if I could, can we shift the conversation a little bit? It's still related, but I'm thinking about vision. You know, as we go into 2021, as we're talking about, we're on the front end of a new decade. Where does vision play its role in this whole piece?
Ooh, I love that you asked that question, Tony. And let me tell you why. Because vision gives clarity on our journey. You know, many of us are walking around with blinders on. We're bumping into stuff. We're crashing around because we don't have any vision. We're so caught up in all of the stuff that's happening. Vision, when you continuously, even in the midst of a year that was so different, like 2020,
right?
When you have a clear vision, and the word of God, I know I'm among fellow believers, the word of God says, write the vision and make it plain.
Absolutely.
So that when he or she sees it, they can run with it because it gives clarity. And many are living life without a vision.
Right.
And I know I heard one of your episodes, you were talking about, Marlon, that not just a vision for this year. What's your vision for the decade?
Right.
You know, living 10 years out at a time. Where do you want to be? But we're so busy just trying to get before us right what's in front of our face. We have to look at the broader picture, see beyond all of the stuff, because vision gives clarity.
Wow.
And when we have that clarity, now, regardless of what's going on, I can navigate on my journey differently. For example, believe it or not, my word for 2020 was expansion. Expansion.
Wow.
And because that was the vision for the year, and I'm not minimizing that we had a different kind of year and difficulty, but it was a year of expansion for me. That singular word gave clarity to the focus of the year, despite what was going on. And I'm not minimizing, because I know many, the journey, the sky was falling.
Right. So it would be interesting for our audience. She mentioned her word was expansion. What's your word? What's your one word? Could you share with us in the chat box? What is your one word for 2021, for the new decade? As Coach Adams shared her thought about expansion, what is your word? What is God giving you? What is your download in one word as we take this journey and we continue on this journey? So I think it would be interesting to see what some of the folks say about what the words are.
I agree.
So let's see what they come up with, and also, Coach Adams, I can see the chat box. People are really resonating. So I would love, we will also repeat it at the end, but I want to share your contact details, because I think it's important that, one of the things about the Real Money Coach, we do our best to be a blessing and, bring individuals that are thought leaders, people that really come from a very sincere place. And so I'd love to, for those that want to contact you, and I'm sure Chris will put it up on the screen, there it is. Your email is admin@coachadams.com, and the phone number is 310-289-2101. And so, if anybody contacts you, they can just say the Real Money Coach, and, you'll know where you connected with them, because I think it's very important, repetition is the mother of skill. And I want you to break down repo, because, Coach Al Hollingsworth and Mrs. H, they've got this phenomenal program, Vertical Leap and Boss, building on spiritual substance. But one thing he shared was repo. And I've shared it and I've given credit, but I want you to break that down, because I think it's very important when we talk about vision, and we're going to get into these words. People are just lighting up the chat box. That was great, but I want you to talk about repo, because I think whatever these words are, they have to, you can't just be a one and done. And I know the coach, you help people really, so it's not just a one time, it's a lifestyle. So just unpack that for us as to, the importance of repetition, the importance of making it a habit, please.
Absolutely. And, I so appreciate, Marlon, that you mentioned our mentors, Al and Hattie Hollingsworth of Boston Movement and Vertical Leap. I serve the ministry of Al and Hattie as their global master trainer. And I have been in that office since 2005, serving in that capacity. And the youth leadership training curriculum that you were mentioning, and this principle of repo, it's an acronym that stands for repetition, easy, pleasure, often, habit. Repetition, easy, pleasure, often, habit. It is man or woman's nature. When we do something repetitiously, it becomes easy. When something is done repetitiously, repetition, easy, it becomes a pleasure. When something is a pleasure to perform, we will do it often. And when something is done often, we create a habit, not necessarily a good habit, but a habit, because overeating is a bad habit. Smoking is a bad habit. Drugs are bad habits. Those things happen through repetition. Spending time in God's presence, doing your exercise, drinking your water, those are all habits as well, good habits. So you create a habit, and it's through the repetition. It's been stated that it takes 21 days to create a habit, but hold on to your seats. Hold on. It takes 365 days to replace a bad habit with a good one.
Wow.
It's been stated. Now, the key of understanding that is, for example, if you've had a bad habit of eating late, that's my bad habit that I'm constantly fighting for. Pray for me. Don't judge me. We all have a thing. I'm a foodie. Okay. If Tony would have read that part of my bio, it would have said I'm a foodie. Okay. So the key is that I've been eating late, didn't start one day. Whatever that bad habit is, you didn't just start it in one day. You've been doing it over time. And that's why it takes the length of time to replace a bad habit with a good one.
Wow.
Because that bad habit, it's sitting on the throne, and it's like, oh, you want to start walking all of a sudden and you haven't been walking? We're going to see how serious you are about this. And it's resisting. Or you're not going to stop eating late? We'll see. We're going to give you those little cravings and see how committed you are to this new habit.
Exactly.
So because it's been on the throne, it kind of digs in its heels, and you have to, through repetition, continuously build something that may have been a file this thick. You have to now create a file bigger so that that new habit overrides that bad habit.
Wow. Thank you. And that's the reason why I want you to share that. Tony's going to break down these words, these words for the year, if you would. But I wanted you to set this up because I understand, we can put words out, but I think your metaphor, your analogy of, oh, you think you're going to walk, it's got to be repetition, right? It's got to be, right? Because it's so easy to go back. And that's why I wanted you to really break down repo, because again, habits, that's where it's at. And anything you do with repetition, as you said, becomes easy. Once it's easy, it becomes a pleasure to do. Once it's a pleasure, you want to do it more often. And once you do it more often, it becomes a habit. So Tony, go ahead and unpack these words, brother.
And I just want to say what I feel about that too is so often we think that if I have a bad habit, I can just get rid of the bad habit. But if you don't replace it with something
right
good, that bad habit is just going to come. And I think Coach Adams, you have blessed some people tonight by saying, hey, listen, don't get caught in this 21 days to establish a good habit. Yeah, but if you're replacing a bad habit, it's going to take you more than 21 days. How many times have we started something and then we had to restart? We had to restart. We had to go back and we restart. And so I want to encourage people to make sure that you don't give up, that you don't give in, that you continue to do that. And I think that was a blessing, that it takes 365 days to replace a bad habit with a good habit. And if you don't replace that bad habit, then with a good habit, it'll come back. And it just is like, and again, you know, we're among believers. If you send 7 devils out, they're going to come back with more. You got to replace it with something good. But getting into these words, man, Karna said her word is move. I thought that was very interesting. She said move, all right? And then we got Evelyn said trust. And here's the thing, folks. The reason why we like reading so much off of what you put in the chat box, because we believe that faith comes by hearing, right? And you guys are taking, and you guys are being honest, and you're putting these words in there, and we want to just read them off. We want you to hear what you're saying. Wayne said, multiply with velocity. You know, and I talk about velocity all the time, the velocity of money. Marie says, now is her word. Wayne again said, multiply. What else we got? Keep them rolling, Chris. Chad said abundance, right? Abundance was his word. Bright Marcus said faith. Love that. Dr. Benita Harris said progressive. Linda Best, I think that was Linda Best. Was it Linda Best? Linda Best said excel. Ruth Bell said focusing, focus. And let's see. Yeah, then we got an amen and a yes. All right. So we got an amen corner and a yes. All right. And so we love that. But that's great to have those words. And I encourage you to do this. Whatever your word was, whatever your goal is, whatever you're striving for in this environment, in this year, in this decade, write it down. Post it on your mirror. Put it someplace where you can see it and can refer to it. And so, yeah, so continue to do that. Continue to write it, visualize it, see it. Just like we said, right? Write the vision, make it plain. So they that run, and they is me. I got to write it down. I got to see it. I got to visualize it so that I can continue on. And, you know, go ahead. What do you say, Mark?
Yeah, no, that's good, Tony. I mean, I think that, you know, this is what it's all about. And I see also Travis said perseverance, you know, perseverance, right? And CD Nelson said decree a thing, declare, you know, so these are phenomenal words. And, you know, just piggybacking on everyone, you know, there's Travis, and CD. One of the things I think is so important is, you know, you may want to go ahead and, you know, get a poster board and go ahead and write your word, you know, and post it all over your house, right? You know, it can be on your bathroom mirror. It can be on the back of your closet door. It can be on the refrigerator so that you anchor it in, right? And I'm just looking to see, you know, I'll show you after we bring up Coach Adams, but, you know, what you focus on becomes your reality. And so you want to, again, we're talking about reconditioning your mind. And I think that's so important. So, Coach Adams, you know, these are
we got a couple more. We got Alice at declutter and organize. And here's a question out there, though. Here's a question from Bright Marcus. Says, how do you make your words come to life and stay alive? Coach Adams, how do you make your words come to life and stay alive?
Thank you, Bright Marcus, for the question. And, you know, what's interesting is Marlon kind of touched on this. You have to allow the words to stay in front of you, before you. You can't just say, this is my word today and never reconnect with it. So one of the things that I often recommend is that You put it where your eye gates can see it. You're constantly speaking it. Oftentimes we start the year, we have our New Year's resolutions and our goals and all of this, and we don't look at them anymore.
Right.
But we're wondering, why isn't it not coming into fruition? You have to keep it in front of you. In the midst of this storm of last year, a severe health crisis, the pandemic, social unrest, the most contentious political season I have experienced, financial woes for many, I kept my word before me. In the midst of, I said, I know God spoke this word to me, so I'm going to keep it before me. So you have to keep it before you.
Wow, that's awesome. And, I want to encourage everyone, please, you can post any question that you have, any comments in our chat box. This is your show. We create this forum for you. And so, we've got about 11 more minutes, and I want to make sure if there's any burning question that you have, and I want to thank Bright for posting that question, but anybody else that has a question, please do, because it's important. One of the things I was sharing is that, for me, these are scriptures, right? And I don't know, it might be like 75 different scriptures. And that's what I do. I keep them in my pocket. You see, they're kind of beat up, but I keep them in my pocket so that I can pull them out and just, look at scriptures, right? And, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So, what are your strategies? Coach Adams, what are any strategies that you use and that you help your those that you mentor, that you coach? Can you share any strategies that, our viewers can apply to really living their best life?
To live your best life really starts with having a vision, having a plan for your life, understanding what that is going to look like. I believe I heard you in one of your episodes, Marlon, and this is one of my favorite books as well, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. Begin with the end in mind. When you think about your life, where do you want to see yourself progressing? Because in that, you now have a gap. This is where I want to get. Woohoo! This is where I'm going. And so now I know I need to take these necessary steps along the journey to close that gap. So that is the first thing. And that's why vision is so important, because it gives you the clarity that you need. It gives you, in the midst of everything, this central focus of, okay, I'm clear on where I want to go. The struggle is often closing that gap, and that's a different issue. But when you have that vision, now I know what the target is, and I can keep my eyes fixed on that and continue to take the steps necessary to move in that direction. Because when I know where I'm going, now it's about, okay, what is my strategic plan? What are the steps that I'm going to take to now walk it out and move in the direction of that? So those would be the base foundational. Of course, a great coach is, as we talked about earlier, it's a game changer. And I think we all happen to know one.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Go ahead, Tony. You see the question?
Let's see. Yes, there was a question here. How helpful is a vision board? How helpful is a vision board? And it's interesting that, we were talking about 7 habits of highly effective people, because, we're currently doing a study. My team is currently doing a study on that book where we're going through it as a team. And it's so interesting. And I heard my daughter, of course, she's a high school teacher, and they're taking their kids through 7 habits of effective teens. And it's like, and it's just kind of, it was kind of confirmation that that's a great way to start out the year. So, and I think Evelyn asked for also to share, did you tell her to share the name of that book? And I'm not sure what book title you're talking about, Evelyn, just let us know. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the vision board. What's your thoughts on vision board?
Well, first, can I say we're the 7 Habits Club, the 3 of us, because I teach a leadership group on a leadership class for my church on the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So we're the club right here. But yes, but really and truly vision boards. I love vision boarding. And the reason why I say that is because this is another way in which you keep the vision before you. And a vision board is so powerful because there are different types of vision boards. When you're clear on where you're going, if you're just doing it for a specific project. So there are different types of vision boards, but this is a way to keep the vision before you. And that's so key. Like what we were saying about the word for Bright Marcus, keeping the vision before you, keeping the word before you. So vision boards are a great way to do that with pictures and images, because a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. We say that all the time, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yes, yes. And so Coach Adams, you know, as far as those that, you know, are really, you saw earlier on, you know, a few people are just not where they know they're maybe not in their divine purpose. And I was just wondering, is there anything, any suggestions that you can give? And I think we all know people, you know, I'm thinking of some individuals in my life that, you know, I just know they're not happy with what they're doing. Are there any steps, you know, because again, a lot of people can feel it, but they may not know how to move through that process. And you know, that's why I wanted to make sure that people, you know, definitely reach out to you, you know, because you've been there. You know, that's what I always want. I want to find somebody who's been there, that transformed, right? You know, not the theory, but I want to have somebody that actually lived the experience. And so, you know, for those that are watching and say, man, I know there's more. Can you share any suggestions, any thoughts regarding that? And this is really, I mean, even with our YouTube channel, I mean, you know, Coach Adams talked about how she watched some of our previous shows, our episodes. You know, you can go to our YouTube channel, you know, The Real Money Coach, because again, repetition is the mother of skill. And I think that, you know, again, when you see I get inspired when I hear success stories and I, you know, readers are leaders and leaders are readers, right? And, you know, this is the book right here that really transformed my life, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. And we've had him on our show. And, you know, because your thoughts are things, right? This is a spiritual journey that we're on. And so, Coach Adams, any, you know, thoughts, you know, I know we've only got about 6 minutes left, but I wanted to find out if there were any thoughts that you have, any suggestions, insights, encouragement for those that may be a little stuck right now. Love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity to share on this subject. You know, the first thing I would say is throw out the window titles. Get rid of titles, because titles pigeonhole you into a specific area. What you want to do first is you want to start to just go on a deep dive journey of discovery, digging into what are my natural gifts and talents? What do I love to do? What is it that I love to do? Getting paid or not, I do it, and I will do it because I am passionate about it. It brings me fulfillment. I can't not do it. My mentor often jokes with me because I will coach you in the store if you let me. It's just in me. And so whatever that is, start that journey of discovery, but throw the titles out. When I started my journey, I didn't have the title of coach. I didn't even know what a coach was, an empowerment coach was. My journey of discovery led me to that title. And so that's what I'm saying. Throw the titles out, allow what the discovery is to lead you to the title, and be okay that it may not be what you think it will be. I thought I was going to be a real estate mogul. I sure did. But it wasn't about purpose. It was about getting all of the things, the stuff, the big house, the nice cars, the bling bling, all of that. It had nothing to do with purpose. And I remember a client when I was in real estate taking an application for a real estate loan, a finance loan, refinance. And I was coaching them, but I didn't know I was coaching them at the time. In retrospect, when I was on my journey of discovery, God showed me that moment. I remember the wife saying, wow, we love that you're so into our lives. We're just trying to refinance and get this loan. And what she was saying is, you're trying to coach us. And we don't even know what that is. We're not trying to get that.
Right.
So throw the titles out the window. Be willing to go on the journey wherever it takes you. Ask people around you, what do you see as my natural gifts and talents? Follow what you're passionate about, what you would do, getting paid or not.
Right.
That is it. And begin to discover that, because that's when you unlock the code of your DNA of purpose, when you start to lead in the direction of what you have fire for that's shut up inside of your bones. I pray that God would stir up the gifts in you, those that are listening.
You know, it's so interesting. We just last week, remember, we had Chris on the show and we were talking about your gifts will make room for you, right? And then we're talking about this tonight, fire shut up in your bones. Well, I know that we're approaching 9 o'clock, but this has been everything I thought it would be tonight, Coach Adams. Thank you, thank you, thank you from, you know, the depths of our heart for being with us tonight.
And thank you.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful show. We look forward to continuing our partnership, and I know you got a mastermind thing coming up soon. So
yeah, share more.
You want to share a little bit more about that as we close?
Absolutely. Real quickly, Tony, you shared that I am a certified speaker, teacher, trainer with the John Maxwell organization. So John Maxwell is my leadership partner. With that, I'm licensed to teach on several of his curriculums. And the one that I'm have coming up January the 21st, my private mastermind, is on Today Matters. Today Matters is 12 daily practices to guarantee tomorrow's success. You know, the thing about it is many of us, we exaggerate. Oh, the good old days. Oh, they were so good. They were awesome. They were this. We underestimate the value of today, and we overestimate the power of tomorrow. Take this journey with me. Today Matters. If you mention the Real Money Coach, you'll get 25% off of your tuition and the investment for this 6-week private mastermind on Today Matters with Coach Adams.
Wow. Thank you so much. 25%, you know, I mean,
25% for your peeps.
For our peeps, you know, and you know, let's put your contact details on the screen for anybody that wants to connect. Again, just have it scroll on the screen, because, you know, again, you know, what do you like to say, Tony? You know, it's not about just being hearers of the word,
but doers, man.
Right? You know, and so again, we want to encourage you. You know, Coach Adams, as Tony said, we thank you. You know, because again, you know, how can you say, you know, it's almost like the synergy. You know, 1 + 1 is not 2, right? 1 + 1 standing side by side is 11. And so when we come together, and I think, you know, the three of us tonight with our viewers and, you know, their questions, their posting, you know, their feedback, it just, we created something that is special. And I think that's really what it is. And so, Tony, what's your one word for the year, man, or the decade?
Man, my one word, man, is perseverance. I think perseverance is my word. And I think the reason that's my word, man, is because, you know, God has allowed us to persevere through both the valleys and the mountaintops, man. We lets us go through the storms, because it rains on the just and the unjust. But God loves every single one of us. And if we and persevere means this to me, is that if you stay the course. Yes. If you stay the course. Now, well, you can't stay any course. But I'm gonna put it like Dr. Fraser said, if you stay a good and righteous course, then all things that you're looking for will come. I believe that, because the word says he'll give you the desires of your heart. Wow. So as I'm closing out my portion of this, and Marlon's going to come and do our signature close here, I do want to remind everyone this, is that if you want to see a replay of this, of course, it's on Facebook. But again, we want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube page. And also, we're looking for you to join our private Facebook group. Now, you can go to Facebook/groups/The Real Money Coach. We are going to be releasing content. We're going to be releasing special offers in that. And thank you, Carnes. She said she was glad that she joined tonight. We appreciate having you as well. But we want you to join our Facebook group. that is where we're developing community, right? That's where we're developing a group of people who care about each other, that we can share. And as we are on this journey of the real money coach and unearthing, yeah, I love that, unearth, right? And as we're doing this, we want you to be a part of it. We want you to be a part of it. Thank you for putting that in the chat box. Make sure you join that. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. Go check out Coach Adams. She's got some powerful stuff on her website. She made a significant offer to the viewers tonight. Check it out. Check it out. Invest in yourself. Invest in getting some coaching. It's only a 6-week program. And so we want to encourage you to do those things and stay the course. Persevere through it all.
Wow. Thank you, Tony. You know, in closing, just want to say thank you for your time. Time is our most precious commodity. And, you know, one of the things, as Tony said, you know, we invite you, the Real Money Coach. It's a private Facebook group. We also have a, you know, a public page, but this is a group where we're sharing additional value. And this Monday, Dr. Martin Luther King birthday, holiday day, right? You know, this is a holiday weekend coming up. And on Monday, January 18th, 2021 is Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday birthday. And we're celebrating. And so in the Real Money Coach, in our private Facebook group, we're going to have something called Motivational Mondays. And we're launching this Monday. And so we want to encourage you to come join us because, again, as Coach Adams talked about, repo, repetition, easy, pleasure, often, habit. And so every Monday you'll receive some inspiration, empowerment, right? A video message for you and your family. And then, you know, in this group page, this is where, you know, we share and we connect. And then we also have something on Fridays where basically you get to promote yourself, promote your business, promote, you know, what your mission is. And so, you know, again, we're creating community. It's one thing to come on Thursday night, and I really applaud. We have some people that have been with us since last April. It's another thing to take it to another level where we really connect deeper. And Tony's given additional value and, you know, just his wealth of information. So join us, as Tony shared. In closing, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Coach Adams, for being here. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, you know, to all of you that are on this call and, you know, and have watched. You know, I want to encourage you, share with your family, your friends, you know, and because every Thursday we're here, 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. And so with that, remember this: a vision without action is just a dream. A lot of action without a vision is merely a passing of time. But a vision, come on, someone, with action can change the world. Stay blessed.